What's up, YouTube? We are back with Foxbody. So I just picked up my fuel line that I needed, and we are going to get started on that here in a minute. Just want to show you guys. I got my fuel cell in. I got my fittings on it, but as you can see, I got to go with 90s. This diamond plate is not coming out. That's just kind of the example that I had. That I'm working with, but yeah, we're gonna get going on this. These 90 fittings will be here Monday, and then from there we're gonna start tackling our electrical, so like just putting the bulbs back in and stuff like that. Then we gotta get wire ran through here, hooked up into the plugs that we need to run off the key, and then from there this one goes through up into the firewall, and it'll come out here and they'll go into this computer, the 3 wiring or 4 wiring, whatever it is that you need, the starter, power, and whatever else, and then that'll be complete. Then I gotta take all these and get them flipped and figure out where I'm going to run a battery. I really probably could get one right here. I'm not sure what kind of cranking this thing is going to take. But yeah. After I get all of this stuff back in check and back in order, then I'm going to change my motor mounts a little bit. I'm going to weld a plate onto this pipe and then put a piece of rubber in between here to take some of the stress out of it. I'm not worried about none of this breaking, but I just want to add a couple more bolts so it's a little easier to, maintain, and it's not quite so hard on it, since I am driving the 1,500 miles to Myrtle Beach, and then I'll do the same with the transmission mount, where it bolts down or onto the transmission, either up here or at the bottom. I'll put a piece of poly or a piece of rubber or something. But yeah, I'm gonna dive into this fuel system, which means I need to get all of this back into here. Now, I did go ahead and got myself some of these fittings. You just push them on. They're $13, and then I got the hose barbs for them, and then I'm gonna use a PEX clamp for like your house water lines. I think they look really clean. I got to get a hold of one of my friends that's got the tool for it, and then I can do that. So yeah, stay tuned. What is up, guys? We are back with the 89 Mustang. I got my fuel lines there. We're tackling the fuel system today as much as I can. The fuel cell is in. I actually had to lift this up just a little bit to sneak this in, take the latch off and stuff. So I gotta put all that back in. My fuel fittings, I gotta order 90s. That's what's coming on Monday. Then this piece of diamond plate is just kind of like a rough fitment of what I'm gonna do to support all the fuel once it's in, and then it'll get bolted in the back. Gotta get my fuel pump put in. That's gonna go pretty much where it's at, just underneath on the inside of the fuel frame. And then I gotta get a fuel filter yet, but I got these fittings for these fuel lines. Yeah, that one goes there, but they just push on, and that's how you can use your factory fuel rails. But I gotta push the fuel hose onto them, so that's why I got them off right now. But yeah, then so with my fuel line, I like to keep my stuff nice, so I just use a couple zip ties, and this will keep it from rubbing for the most part, and then it'll just make it easier to work with once it's in the car. But I'm gonna keep going on cutting all these tails off, and I'll see you when we get to pushing them on. Alright, so we decided that I'm not waiting around to get the PEX fitting or clamp tool, so I'm on my way to the store to buy some nice hose clamps. Now, hopefully they're not going to charge me an arm and a leg, and I also don't want the cheap ones that break right away. So, that's where I'm headed. Luckily, it's right down the road from the shop, so this should only take about 15 minutes. Fingers crossed, though. Alright, guys, we're going underneath the car now. I don't really have it jacked up all that high, but as you can see, it's pretty dang clean down here. You know, it's got a little bit, but this is all surface, really. The rear end could be cleaned up, but it still works. It is not a posi, I see. Limited slip, but definitely not a posi. And everything works, so that must be good. So as you can see, it is getting there in age. It needs love. I'm not the one to do it. But this is a good car still. I got new fuel lines because of this, and I also am running them down the other side of the car. But that's why I did it. I just noticed that there's blocks in these springs. So if I take those blocks out, these springs might compress a little more. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I might have to look into it. I also do not have the quad shock car, so I can really run almost whatever I want back here. But let's go up to the front here now. So my transmission, this is what I did. Don't mind my chicken scratch welds, but I gotta finish welding these. But I bent this for the strength, and then you know, drilled the hole. I gotta tighten these, but then my factory cross member bolts right into here. Now this is the factory one, and this is the strength point. I just made this one the strength point so it doesn't flex so much. And then I had to notch it right here to go around this. And then the same on the other side. You can see that one. That one was a little easier to get in there, but still not the best. If I had a car lift, they would be way better. I gotta hook up my vacuum line there, run that up to the intake. These are like the reverse lights and stuff. So those are not gonna probably get hooked up, maybe. I'm not sure where they would go or any of that, but then as you can see, straight up would be where you would bolt it down. It is currently sitting on the pan, kinda. So this will be tipped up a couple inches, and then I'll put that piece of rubber in here. So that'll be good to go. Let's see what else we got. I need to wash this thing. So I got my fuel lines up in here. They are hooked up to the fuel rails, and as you can see with the zip ties, they just they go where you want them to. So with that being said, these are just gonna run back here like this. I'm gonna go over the cross member, down the car, and to the rear. So I'll see you guys when I get to the back of the car. Alright guys, this is in front of the trans cross member. And then I just got it zip tied for now. This is not permanent by any means. I am going to get some clamps to drill into the floor. But this is pretty much how it's going to be. It'll just run along the transmission. Like so. Oh, that wasn't even in all the way. And then it will just keep following the car and the trans tunnel back. I'll probably make them out here and a mount here to avoid it from rubbing on this edge and to keep it away from the emergency brake, which I doubt works. From there, we turned our hoses to lay nice, and we just got a zip tie up here right now. I'll put a mount right in this area to keep it from rubbing. And then from there, we are over the axle, and I'm going to put a hole in the spare tire holder towards the bottom here somewhere, just to where when the rear end flexes all the way or it goes all the way up into the car, it's not going to hit them. So it's probably going to be up higher. But, oh, I just got rust in my eye. Or dirt, something, I don't know, probably rust. This thing sucks, but we're going to put the hole in there, run the fuel lines across this floor pan, and then into our 90-degree fittings. I was just going to have these down here, but I don't like that idea. Now, while I was procrastinating making this part of the clip, I started on the fuel cell bracket. So, like I said, it's going to be similar to this, much different, but similar, if that makes sense. Sorry about the flash on that, but I got a piece over here, and it's just a piece of flat steel. I'm not sure how thick, probably 1/8 inch. And this is my cutoff mark from that end. And then these are the bends that I'm going to be making. So I'm using the edge of the table since I can't bend it into the vise. And I'm just going to heat it up, bend it to a 90, and then slide it out to this other one, bend that one at a 90. Alright, we should be able to start bending here in a second now. I got my metal nice and hot. It is glowing red. I turned the torch up to speed it up. But again, if you're not halfway decent at running the torch, just take your time. There's no rush. You see, now I should be able to just bend this. Alright guys, so you can see how I did this now. So the fuel cell drops down right there, like I was saying. So I went inside, came over, dropped about 1 inch before the tank, came across it about 1 inch past that bend, put another bend in it, came across, cut it at the trunk. So now I'm debating if I'm welding this in or just kind of like putting it together, or if I'm gonna weld a bracket onto it and then from there bolt that down and then bolt the fuel cell down. But I do want to lay carpet over it and I want it to look nice, so that's why it's really close to flush. So I probably will just weld it in and then be done with it there. And then, like I said, my 90s are coming. They should clear that just fine. And then put the lights back in, put the carpet back down, and should be able to never know that I was in here, other than there's now a fuel cell. I gotta get some touch-up paint, but other than that, we're good. And then now I am trying to get my fuse box wired up. So far, I only learned that I need A9, which is this one right here. They said if you look really close, you can see the numbers in here. And then if you go across, you can see letters. So A, and then where'd it go? That one, we need 9. So A9. This one goes to the key. So when you turn your key on, it'll have power. And then I'll have to look again, but I think it's this one right here. What is that? B11. I believe this one just comes up around to your power in. So like this will be my power in off the battery. And then from there, I'll have to look at the video again, but I think the other one is over here that I need. And then we should be able to plug this in and hook it up on the car side over here. And then from there, we should have power to the ECM. All right, guys, so we got the electrical started. So this is the easiest way to start your LS, as long as your VATs are deleted off the computer, which I have right here. I gotta do that yet. But you need this pin. This is A9. This A9 goes to your key. So when you turn your key on, your engine harness gets power, okay? So then we need, what was it? B11, which is this one. And we just ran it up around to the stud that your positive battery cable goes to, I do believe. And then, actually it would go battery starter fuse box, but that's where your positive cable would go to supply this. And then this one, you don't have to do this one, but I did it so when I turn the key on, the fuel pump turns on. Now, if you're wondering which one that is, I think it is F1. So it's in this first row, C bank, and that will turn my fuel pump on when I turn my key on, and then it should be good. So now I can plug my engine harness into here, hook these up to the car, and put my battery cables in, and the car, in theory, should turn over. But I'm gonna end that video there. My phone's almost dead. We actually did get quite a bit done. The fuel lines, like I showed earlier, they're all the way through the car. I did not put them through the trunk yet. This brace down here that I made, that's getting welded in. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. Check back next week, 6:30 p.m. on Sunday, Central Time, and we'll see if we can't at least get this thing to turn over a little bit. So, and then I'll have my 90 fuel fittings so I can wrap that up. And yeah, that's it. Drop a drop a like, a thumbs up, or subscribe. Turn on the notifications for more. Like the last video said, this is going to drive to Myrtle Beach. So we got some work to do. We got our work cut out for us. I got to order some more stuff. I got to do this, do that, but we're going to get it done, and hopefully you guys stick around to see the final product. But yeah, that's it.